Hey everyone, hello, welcome to a cooking class. Today I'm going to make deep fried manicotti. Now I want to mention that this is absolutely a very rich food, and it's not something you want to eat weekly or on a daily basis. I have not made this for over 10 years. And then when I did make it 10 years ago, it was a hit with my family. My parents had heart conditions, so I only made it once for them when they were alive, and they absolutely loved it. So I just want to let you know that this is absolutely unhealthy, just so you know. There's nothing healthy about anything that's going in here, I don't think, except maybe some spinach. But first off, this is my version of deep fried manicotti. There's many ways of making manicotti. People just do it to their taste, to their like, to their preference, whatever you want to stuff in it, people stuff in it, you know. Not everybody likes cheese, not everybody likes ricotta cheese. I absolutely hate ricotta cheese, and I know that manicotti calls for ricotta, and I don't like it. So I am using the ones that, these are just regular manicotti noodles. These are not the ones that say oven ready. You cannot use oven ready noodles. You've got to use the ones that you need to boil, and my camera's going to fog up a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing a pot of water to boil, and I'm going to drop my manicotti noodles in it to boil them until they are al dente. As you can see, my camera is literally fogging up. So I have my manicotti noodles here. So let me just turn my fan on to absorb some of the heat. The whole camera's getting wet. So I have 28, there's 2 boxes here that I'm just gonna drop in the water, fan it off a bit. My camera is seriously fogged up. Hang on, let me turn that on a little higher. So anyways, you're gonna cook these for about 8 minutes, stirring them frequently. Do not overcook them. Okay, please don't overcook your manicotti because they'll just split apart when you're stuffing them. All right, I will be back. Let me just wipe this off. You can see they're in there, and I'm gonna give them a little stir so they don't stick, and I'm gonna let them cook till they come to temperature again. And I'm gonna go. Hang on. Woohoo! So guys, I had to move my camera out of the way so you can see my noodles are cooking. Like I said, just cook them till they're al dente, which is about 8 minutes. They're still a little hard, but they're not completely cooked. But they're still really soft and easy for you to stuff them, okay? So keep doing. I want to let you know, I do not salt my water. I'm sorry, I've never ever salted water for pasta, and I never will. If you want salt, you go ahead and put your teaspoon of salt in there, but I'm not putting any salt in this. It doesn't need it, believe me, okay? So I'll be back when the noodles are cooked and show you what to do next. Okay guys, I'm back, and what I did is I took these off, and as you can see, they are still very al dente. They're not cooked solid, but I ran them in cold water. But you know, they're pliable, they're stuffable, and I'm just gonna leave them sit aside in the cold water because I don't want them to stick together, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do while I prepare the stuffing, okay? So I'm just gonna let them soak in the pot in nice cool water. Okay, so first off, we want to get a nice size deep frying pan. So I'm going to be using this one because it's pretty wide. Okay, and I'm going to be stuffing it full of stuff in there. So we want to start off with some bacon, and this is slab bacon. It's just a big slab. And you're going to cut all this bacon up. My husband's going to throw it in the garbage for me. And I'm going to cut them into, you know, I don't know, 1/4 inch pieces. Thickness, I guess, or thinner. So there's lots of bacon throughout it. Yeah, I'm going to probably do it a little bit less than 1/4 inch. Alright, so let's get some of this chopped up. This one's got a lot of fat in it, so I do rinse my bacon. You probably think that sounds retarded, but guys, just cut it into nice thin little pieces like this. And I like using slab bacon because the stuff in the store that you buy already packaged is too thin. But you can use it. You don't have to use slab bacon. But I like to cut this to my own thickness, so that's why I just stick with doing it this way with these. So I'm just chopping it all up. And these will all break apart when they're cooked and all the fat's rendering down. We will rinse the fat off because I absolutely hate bacon fat. I love bacon, but I hate the fat. When my husband makes me breakfast, he has to squeeze my bacon for me. Oops, that one's a little thin. Actually, I'm gonna just trim that hunk of fat. That's just pure solid fat on the back of this. Yeah, he has to squeeze my bacon in paper towel to get every piece of grease out of it after it's cooked. I know it sounds lame, but if I taste any grease, I won't eat it. So I'm cutting these a little bit thin because I really want lots of bacon throughout each bite. So let's get these cut up. And this one's a little bit thin, but that's okay. We are good with that. Okay. And we'll just cut those. And this is a lot of bacon. I think, how much was here, Jeff? Over a pound. It's like 2 pounds.
Yeah, close to 2.
About 2 pounds of bacon. But you know, bacon is like spinach. You cook it and it renders down to nothing. So it's really not much left of it. So yeah. This is going to start getting a bit tricky to cut down like this. So. No. We'll just do it this way. The way I know best, safest with the knife. And it pays to have a good sharp knife. Alright, that's good enough. Just give it a good rough chop. Yeah, this frying pan is loaded with bacon right now, which is wonderful. Hey, my daughter, she went out to this place last night because my daughter and her hubby live here in the downstairs apartment, and they went to this place called Wacky Wings that they just opened up here a couple months ago. And she said they had, what was it called? Man candy. It's called man candy, and all it is a thick slice of bacon deep fried with breading on it. She said it was to die for. I thought, yeah, that's really healthy. And now I'm feeding her more unhealthy food tonight. But this is my kids. Haven't had this for, like I said, about 10 years. And my brother, he absolutely loved this stuff. Okay, so in our pan, look how much bacon is in here. Okay, that's a lot of bacon. Lots. Okay, so we're going to start getting that cooking on very low temperature for now. I'm just going to put it on like 4 and just get it starting to heat up, okay? And now my knife is very greasy. So let me just give this a little wipe. Oh, I can't stand grease on my hands. All right, now you're gonna take some mushrooms, and I got the sliced ones because I'm lazy. Well, not really. And I am going to chop these into teeny tiny pieces, just like I did, even smaller than the bacon. So just give them a good rough chop. And I'm using about 3 packages of mushrooms chopped. And you want the pieces to be pretty small because remember, you're going to be stuffing these in a manicotti and you want everything to be small. Sorry about the banging of my knife, guys. So I'm thinking that looks pretty good. There's a few little big pieces that I'll just give them a light chop to. All right, and then I'm going to throw this in with the bacon. And one good thing about this stuffing is if you make way too much, you can eat the leftover stuffing, and that's 9 times out of 10 what happens in my house. We always make too much stuffing. So I'm going to chop some more. You do realize though too that this stuff all renders down to absolutely nothing after it's cooked. Jeff, if you can take those manicottis out and put paper towel in there and just lay them on in the cake pan there for me so they can dry a little bit now. So my husband's just going to take the manicotti out of the water now because it has cooled and drain it on some paper towel. So we want to get as much water out of that as you can. Every one I'm trying to chop, I miss. You can see there's some big pieces here. So you can kind of hear the bacon just slightly coming up. I've got it on 4, so it's not going to get burning, and maybe just some of the fat rendered off of it. So I think we will have, I'll bring it over here so you guys can have a little look to see how much mushrooms I really have. Okay, so it is starting to render down a little bit. So I always like to just give it a little stir and get the mushrooms incorporated, and I will strain every ounce of grease out of this. And if it's super greasy, I'm definitely going to rinse it under hot water. And then I'll just bring it back up to temperature because I hate bacon fat. I know it sounds crazy, but it's the truth. Okay, so I think we're going to do one more. I don't know. That looks like an awful lot of mushrooms, but then again, they shrink down. And like I said, what's left, I don't have to worry about stuffing it in noodles because my husband will definitely wolf it down. So let's chop, chop, chop. And if you're going to strain it, make sure you use a mesh strainer, because these little tiny pieces, you'll lose them if you put them in a strainer with big holes in it. Now the next ingredient, I know a lot of people hate spinach, but that's what makes this dish. That's what I put in my cannelloni too, spinach with the hamburger. This has no hamburger in it, it's just bacon. That's the only meat product that you use. And who doesn't like bacon? Alright, I think this is chopped good enough. So we'll get that mixed in with the bacon. And then we'll get our spinach chopped up. I have a mess. The dogs are picking up everything I drop. So I'm just giving this a little stir, guys, to incorporate the new mushrooms I added. Again, I got this on very low temperature. You can just barely hear it sizzling. Okay, now we always buy this kind of spinach. Love this kind of spinach. It's organic baby spinach, and this is what we always use to cook with. And this is what we feed Miku. He eats this. Love this baby spinach, so fresh. So we're just gonna chop, move this, honey, a little bit at a time. So I'm just rolling it all up and giving it a good rough chop. Wow, it's ever fresh. It's so crunchy. So crunchy. Now we're going to put our spinach in here and let that render down with the mushrooms and the bacon. And this is a big container of spinach, so you might want to, you know, take a big container of it. Because this stuff wilts down to nothing. And if you don't like spinach, my gosh, use whatever you want. Goes good with bacon and cheese and mushrooms. Broccoli does. Broccoli. But broccoli would be good too. I've never made it with broccoli. Cauliflower. Yeah, if you don't like spinach, try something else. But you're going to need lots. Like if you use broccoli, probably going to use about 2 big packs of it, or 3, because it'll again render down to nothing. Okay. Baby spinach is so tender, so good. So tender. There you go. I'm only chopping it this small because my pan is getting pretty full. I'll tell you that much. But then again, all this stuff renders down to nothing. And like I said, I'm going to be rinsing all of this off, all the bacon grease off of it. Probably under hot water and soapy hot water underneath it to catch it in the sink. I was telling everybody on the camera that you're going to be eating unhealthy again tonight. Yeah. Told them about your deep fried bacon. My daughter I'm talking to. Okay, so I think we are good. We are really good. Our pan is extremely full, guys. So I'm going to start to turn the temperature up now to render everything this. will show you how full this pan is. Ugh. It is full. That's not a joke. But it is starting to render down. See? Oh my God, this smells incredible. Oh my gosh, they need smell-o-vision. Now, you also can add onions to this. I hate onions, especially stuffed in a pasta. Absolutely hate onions. So I'm not going to add onion to this. You can see it looks absolutely delicious already, and it's not even cooked. But the mushrooms and the bacon and the spinach, My husband only married me for my cooking skill. Right, Jeff?
Right.
Right. And then we were talking about this before we did the video, and he's like, there is nothing that's unhealthy. This is all delicious. All right. So, here are the noodles. They're all spread out on paper towel, and as you can see, Jeff broke some. What'd you do, Jeff?
That actually was like that.
Oh, and it came with the piece. Uh-huh.
It was stuck.
That's one thing about manicotti. You gotta watch it. The noodles all break apart. So what I'll do is I'll just run a toothpick through that when I stuff it, and then when I cook it, I will pull a toothpick off. So yeah, there we go. They're just laying on paper towel, drying off, ready to be stuffed. Alright, so let me get this out of the way and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back at the stove here, and we are going to bring this temperature up now. I have it turned up to 8, which is medium, almost medium, a little past medium high. It's not quite on high. And you want to keep stirring this until you get all the fat rendered down. Everything's shrunk up, the mushrooms, the spinach, all of it's really nicely cooked. This is really, really, let me just zoom in so you guys can really see how delicious this all is. See? Look at that. Yummy, yummy, yumminess. Wow. The grease though, we don't need that in our diets. That's what hardens the arteries, clogs them, is animal fat. Very bad for you. Okay. Let me back up a bit. There we go. A little bit more. There we go. So I'm going to cook this. I'm going to get this all rendered down, and then I'll come back and show you what I'm going to do with it after it's all rendered, because that's next step is an important step. And I'll be back. Let this cook. Take a bit to cook, so I'll be back. Okay guys, you can see how much this has rendered down, like literally. Look at all the fat. That is going bye-bye down the drain with hot soapy water. Yeah, I'm not going to be eating that. So, keep letting it cook till all that grease has been absorbed or rendered down from the bacon, because you don't want any grease. And I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm at my sink now, and I have a large pot with dish soap in here and a strainer, and I'm going to rinse all the fat off of this. And I need a scoop. Put some of it in here so I can rinse it off. I absolutely hate bacon fat, and besides that, this is really no good for you. Shoot, dogs will clean that up. So now you're just going to take your water and give this a good hot water rinse. I'll put this in when I'm done straining it. You want to get as much fat off of this as you can, because I really don't like the fat, and it's really, really, really not good for you. So I think that's rinsed pretty good. try to strain out some of the water, juice, and then I'm going to dump it in here, and then I'm going to get another scoop. Okay, another couple of scoops here. And the reason I put dish soap in there, because it breaks grease down if it's going to go down the drain. I mean, there's not a lot of grease here, but there's definitely enough. So I always put dish soap in it and scalding hot water. And I just keep rinsing the grease. I know you think it ruins the flavor of it, but I promise you, it does not. Who's running water? Why is it doing that?
Washing machine's probably on.
Oh. And you got to use hot water because it won't wash the grease off of your food. So we're done with that for now. It's going to squeeze some of the juice out of that. You probably can put the rest of this in here. So as you can see, it rendered down to a lot of nothing. And I'm going to rinse this frying pan off and reuse it. I have to heat up the bacon. Wow, my daughter's running the washing machine. Or somebody is. And that's getting a wee bit too full. I don't know about you guys I know you guys are going to think I'm crazy for rinsing bacon, but my daughter freaks on me because I rinse hamburger. I hate the grease in hamburger. Besides, it's not good for you. Okay, I think that is good and rinsed. So let me give that a squeeze.
The water's clear.
All right. I will be back now because I got to go and wash my utensils and dump this out. That's that. I'll be back. Okay, we're back at the stove now. I'm going to turn it back on high. This is all that came left out of all that stuff. After I've rinsed it, that's all that's left, guys. All that's left. And I could tell all the bacon's gone because this is squeaky. It's just water. So I'm going to bring this to a boil. Look, not very much. Get this nice and hot again and get all that water, kind of brown it up a little wee bit. So we got this back on high. I believe it's on high, yes. Bring this up to a nice hot boil and get all of the water out of it, and we're good. Bacon grease is gone. Nice. There. Okay, it's a little bit healthy. So while we're doing that, getting this all rendered, I'm going to go clean up a little bit here and prep my next thing we got to do. I'll be back. So let me zoom out. There we go. Okay guys, as you can hear now, it sounds like it's frying. That means you know that most of the water is gone. You can see the bottom. Oh no, you can't. Shoot, hang on. Woo, we're fogged up. Let it unfog. Alright, we'll have to do it this way. You can see the bottom of my pan is completely dry. See? Now, to this, we're going to add some yumminess. One more ingredient. I want to stir this and make sure there's no water. Okay, one sec. Okay, I turned the burner off, and to this, you're going to add some shredded cheese, and this is 4 cheese blend. So it's got a blend of provolone, mozzarella, cheddar, Parmesan. It's got the whole caboodle in it. So you're going to dump one in so far, but believe me, it takes more. And I've got the heat turned off, so you want to melt this. Just want to blend it all together, and it takes more than one bag because there is a lot of stuff here. So keep stirring it. Oops, can't get this on my stove. All right. Okay, and we're going to dump another bag in. Oh, it smells delicious. I can smell the Parmesan, the provolone. I can smell it all. So it takes a lot of cheese. Like I told you, this is not healthy. And here's why. All this yummy cheese. So you want to do this on the burner while it's still hot. So all of this incorporates and melts together. Now, a lot of people that love ricotta and love cottage cheese will add that to this. I do not like ricotta, so that's my preference. You guys can add ricotta if you like it. I also don't like cottage cheese heated. I can't eat it. I love lasagna, but I never put cottage cheese in lasagna. So you're going to mix all of this together and incorporate every piece of it with some cheese. It'll make it so easy to stuff the manicotti with. Looking good. Do you think that's stringy enough?
Do you think it's stringy enough?
No, not at all. So this is absolutely looking perfect. Oh, it's getting hard on my wrist. And that is why I always use a rubber spatula, because nothing sticks to your rubber spatula. Want to make sure it's incorporated and that you have lots. Look at this. It's just pure cheese now. This is so good. Jeff is like, mouth is drooling. I wish you guys could see what he's doing.
Oh my god, that looks yummy.
It is, I'll let you taste it.
I can't wait to have a heart attack after this.
You can't wait to have a heart attack after this. Yes. So you can see how cheesy this is. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So this is perfect. And that's it. Now you need to let this sit and cool, because you will never be able to touch this with your hands. And I don't use spoons. I have very clean hands, and I don't use spoons to stuff my manicotti with. But you want to make sure you got all your cheese melted. And I just lift it with a rubber spatula, push it in the middle, and push it down and stretch it. That's it. That's all you got to do. So we're going to let this cool. I'm actually going to sit it outside because it's nice and cool out there. And the grease you see here is from the cheese. That's why I rinse the grease off of my bacon. So every single piece is covered. Look at this, guys. Every single piece is covered in cheese. So, yeah. I'm gonna go now and get prepped over here, and then I'll come back and show you what to do next. Okay, guys, so I'm back. Well, that's chilling now. I'm gonna prep my stuff to bread. So you're going to dump some flour And I'm using pie plates because I think these work really well. Okay, so this one has flour. Then I'm going to put egg. Oops, let me get this out of the way here. Eggs in this one. So I don't know how many I'm going to need, so I'm just going to crack a whole bunch because I am doing 28. Jeff, can you give me a fork, please? Oops, I got a shell in there. Thank you. Just gonna keep cracking eggs. Oh, I see another eggshells right here. So let me just scoop these suckers out. Oh, so I missed. Got that one. Now I need this one. Let's see if I can scoop it with this one. There we go. Nope, just about. Wow, it's in a really thick membrane, but I got it. All right, yuck. And 2 more eggs. All right. So that was, I don't know how many eggs. I don't remember how many I cracked. Do you remember how many were in here?
Nope.
Oh, well, I don't remember either, so.
Count the yolk.
Oh, right. 9 eggs. But then again, I'm making a lot, so. Look like I'm making quiche. Okay, so take this dish off. Move the flour. Okay. And now this one is for, I use Italian breadcrumbs. So I'm just going to dump breadcrumbs in here. And I think I'll need quite a bit of this. Alright, that should be good for now. Now to this breadcrumb, I'm going to add a bit of salt. So I am going to add some Himalayan sea salt. Not that you need it. And some cracked black pepper. This is called Italian cracked black pepper. Smells so good. And I'm going to add some garlic powder. Just to give it a little bit of garlic flavor. So that's about 2 tablespoons. And then we'll just give it a little stir around. It smells good with the garlic. Alright, now the fun part. Fun begins. I'm running out of room here, Jeff. Take that for a minute. Put that there.
This, right?
Put that there. And let's bring some Manicotti. Now these are the broken ones. Some of them. But they're good enough to stuff. Over here I have a pot of oil. Fresh oil. And it's filled a little bit below half. Okay? And it's not turned on yet, so I haven't turned it on. You know, here is my stuffing, all cooled off. I dabbed some of the grease off of it with paper towel. So I'm just going to bring some over here because I just don't have the room. You can see it's just beautiful. You just break it apart. And if you want to get some of the grease off of it, do you want to give me some paper towel? You can do that with paper towel. Just roll it, dab it, so it's not so greasy. And then stuff it inside your manicotti. Okay? Like that. And I always start at one end, and then I stuff the next end. You can hear the grease in that from the cheese, which is probably whey. And we checked, the blend in here is what? Swiss cheese, Parmesan, mozzarella, and provolone. Yep. Alright, so there is that one, all stuffed. And then you just set them aside. So I'm going to stuff another one. This time I'm going to do a nice big long ring. I'm just taking out some of the grease. Look, you can just squeeze it to fit into the manicotti. Well, that's a little big. As you can see, it's tearing there, and that's okay. It's already torn on this side. Okay, and then you're going to stuff it, push it together. Now you're going to use a toothpick to hold it together. Okay, like that. And you might have to use 2 toothpicks depending how big that split is, and mine's pretty big. So I'm just going to hold it together like that until it's cooked. There we go. And there's 2 of them stuffed. Now I'm going to start heating my oil so I can show you how to cook it. I don't want to touch my stove with greasy fingers. I've got it on medium heat. That's the only way I bring it to temperature, not on high, unless you want a kitchen fire. And some people do put grease on high. And it's just pure vegetable oil that I'm using. That's it. So open up. Just give it a little twist, push it in. Little twist, push it in. There we go. And a little twist and push it in. Whoa. This one's a little stuffed too much. There we go. And this one's again splitting too. These split really easy, the ones that are already split when you cook them. So I want to get these ones off my... Just have to cook them very carefully. Once they start to cook, they'll be fine. It's just getting them to stay. Just put a toothpick in it there. And a toothpick in it there. And there we go. It's good. And then we got this one. And you guys should taste it. My God. So good. So good. Just be very gentle. Still splits on you. And these noodles are not overcooked, believe me. Okay, that one. Now, just put a couple of toothpicks in it, like that. And, oh well, that's not going to stay on it. Really don't know where it came from, but anyway. I've never had it break like this. I think I overcooked it. Might be. Okay. Those ones I'm going to leave till last. I'm just going to stuff some good ones. Yeah, go ahead.
Look at that burger. That's the chicken pot.
Wow.
I have to make some.
I'm just going to push it down instead of trying to stuff it there because I'll just rip it more. So just be very careful. And then that one's done. Just going to sit that one in the flour. I'm sorry, I just can't handle this grease. There.
Yum.
And it still splits. No matter what you do, it still splits. But, like I said, it's not a big deal. I'm not even going to fight with that. There we go. I'm actually just going to take that out and leave it split. Alright, so I think I have enough stuffed to show you guys how to cook, and then I'm going to go off, finish this off, stuffing these with all this yumminess. Alright, I just gotta wash my hands quickly. Okay. Just going to move these over. Bring my egg up here. And the breadcrumbs are right there. And I'm just going to roll these in flour, every speck of it in flour, so that the egg sticks to it. And then you're going to roll it in the egg, one hand in the egg and one hand in the flour, or in the, okay, there. So you just want to make sure you get it good and coated with the breadcrumb. Make sure you get it on the ends. Okay. Jeff, can you pull those down?
These?
Yes. Pull the paper towel. Don't have enough room. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Okay, look at how big these are.
They got bigger too.
Yeah. So I'm just going to do the flour one. Make sure they're coated good with the flour, and then coated really good with the egg. Oops, wrong hand. This is the gucky hand. Let's try that. And I like to dab these really well and make sure every speck of wet is covered with breadcrumbs. You do not want your grease to be really hot, because if it's really hot, you're just going to burn these. So this is the mangled one.
How long do you cook those for?
There's till they're a little bit golden brown and cooked inside.
Falling apart.
No, they don't fall apart, they get crispy.
Well, that one's falling apart right now.
Oh, yeah, well, it'll be fine once it starts cooking. You can still use the falling apart ones.
Maybe want to do double.
Pardon?
Might want to do double on that one.
No, this one's good. I used to have to make these for my brother, and he would freeze them, and these would be a meal for him. He would freeze 2 at a time and have 2 with for his supper, because he lives alone. So I did this for him years ago. Had to have been over 10 years ago. When I first made these, when I moved back to my hometown, my whole family went crazy over these. Now I'm going to take that toothpick out, just press it together. Take that toothpick out. It's kind of held together now. What? Okay. Okay, taking this toothpick out, and I'll take the other one out. I think the oil is getting pretty hot, so I'll move my camera.
It's ready.
Well, we'll tell. No, it's not. Nope, that's not hot enough, Jeff. It's got a sizzle. And do not crowd your pot with these. Like, don't put a whole bunch in, because you'll turn down the temperature of your oil, and then these will just turn really greasy. So make sure your oil is good and hot, and you leave it staying hot. I would only put maybe 2 of these in at a time, and cook 2 of them at a time is good enough. And there we go. So let me clean this up and I'll be back. Okay, I think my oil is hot enough now. You can see if you take a little tiny pinch of flour and drop it in and it sizzles, it's hot. So we're gonna cook 2 of these So I'm going to drop one in at a time. Let it go in. And drop another one in. And just let those two, well, maybe we'll put 3 in. The oil's hot enough to do 3. Okay, I need tongs, Jeff. And let me turn this down. I don't want it too hot. Yep, let me have a little look-see. Oh, you got my paper towel plate ready? Yeah, the oil's a little too hot. So you want to let these get nice and crispy. So I turned my oil down. They don't need to cook because they're really already all cooked inside, but you want that cheese to get super hot. Look at this. Okay, so I'm going to take them out, and I'm going to put them on a piece of toilet paper towel, and let them drain a little bit. You can see that it is definitely a little bit dark, but there's your manicotti. Delicious. So let me throw a couple of more in. 3 more.
You just do it with your hand.
Well, I've turned the oil down because it is too hot. So you don't want it too hot.
I've done a while ago.
Just keep a look on them. There we go. That's the way you want to see them get really crispy and golden on a lower temperature of oil. Oh yeah, now they're not coloring as fast. That's exactly how you want them. That way they get really cheesy inside, see? Even the broken ones, see the broken ones? They're perfectly fine. Just gotta have a little bit of patience. A little bit of patience. My dog's gonna be sick. She gets sick very easily.
Not from special care. That's fiber.
Oh yeah, now they're cooking perfect. That's the way you want them. Nice and golden. And then they'll be really nice and crispy on the outside and cheesy on the inside. And you serve these with really hot pizza sauce. So we just buy pizza sauce like this. It says pizza sauce, traditional pizza sauce. We just buy this and give it a shake up and heat it up in the microwave or heat it up on the stove. I'm going to heat it in a pot and then put a little dish beside you while you're eating your deep fried manicotti. So this is definitely crispy and browned. You can see the cheese and everything is staying inside. It's not oozing out. It's just perfect. All right, so that's it, guys. Serve it up. I'll cut one open so you guys can see it. Can you give me a knife? Oh, never mind. I'll use a knife here. I'll cut one of these open so you can see inside. One of the ones I did earlier. Look inside. is that not to die for? Whoops, didn't mean to do that, but it's in the pot now cooking. That'll be Jeff's.
Scraps.
Okay guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon on the next video. Let me know if you make it. Bye for now. There they go.